Hey guys, Sav here. I just wanted to talk with you guys a little more after reading that article about the forensic pathologist's autopsy that they did. We have some details if you haven't seen that video. In my last video, I talk about it. There's also a link to the article if you'd like to read for yourself. But I just want to talk a little bit on that. So here we go. Alright, so we're going to start with the map here of Peru and Lasalle. So, car found here, around this area. It's not directly here, around that area. And then, body found somewhere on this shoreline, east of the bridge. So, somewhere over here. Now, for a post from the Justice for Jelani page, they went to Lasalle to do the balloon send-off, and that was on the canal. It was somewhere in between these two bridges, I believe. So, what's very interesting is that person of interest that we saw a while ago, that is no longer a person of interest, he's been cleared. That house was right here that he was knocking at. So, it kind of does make sense why he was a person of interest. He was in the area, apparently, of where Jelani was last seen. Now, I didn't see anything else that said he was last seen in this area besides this post. So now going back to around where the body was found, I just want you guys to pay attention to how narrow this waterway is. And as a local, I know that there are non-stop barges traveling through the river. It's constant. You'll almost always see a barge if you're driving over the Route 251 bridge. It's almost always going to happen. So you can imagine that would throw the water around, possibly throw a body around. Since I have no knowledge of body decomposition, especially in regards to a waterlogged body, I spent last night and this morning doing a bit of research, so I'm going to share with you what I have found. So, here we go.
A nice warm bath at the end of a long day can be the perfect way to relax. Your tense muscles loosen up, all the weight is off your feet, and the smell of lavender bubble bath fills your nose. Time can really slip by when you're in there, especially with a book to keep you company. Before you know it, you've been in there for 4 hours, or is it 5? Not only do your fingers and toes wrinkle, but so does the rest of your body. Your skin turns green and black. Fatty tissues escape your body and feel all slimy and slippery. What's that floating next to you? Is that your foot? Your foot fell off your body? Okay, hold it. This may be an extreme scenario, but the effects are quite similar to what happens to a human body when left to decompose underwater.
Okay, so I feel like that was something that we kind of needed to hear in regards to this case, because we know that his body was fairly decomposed. I don't know if any entire limbs were missing or not, but we do know that the organs were missing. Now, it's unclear to me if the organs were physically removed during the original autopsy, or if that's some part of the process of decomposition underwater. It's not clear to me which one of those two, if either, it is for this case. It's very interesting to me that there were no organs, because I do remember seeing 1 or 2 comments in previous videos where people were wondering if the organs were removed and comparing the case to Kendrick Johnson. And if you don't know about that, definitely look into it. That is a crazy story. His case has been reopened. In case anyone did not know, it has been reopened. So I'm hoping that somehow, with the little evidence that they still have, that they'll be able to figure something out to bring justice to him so his family can live in peace. So from my research, I learned that sometimes organs are removed and replaced with something else. However, from what I have read, that is normally with consent of the parents or whoever. Keep in mind, we don't know that the organs were removed or if that was part of the process of the decomposition in the water. Because I believe in the article it did say that the organs were liquefied, and that was a direct quote. So I don't know what that means. I really don't. I tried to figure it out, and there's not a whole lot about it. All right, so let's keep learning.
The reason why we don't find bodies washing up on our shores left, right, and center, besides the invention of the life vest, is due to scavengers. I'm not talking about something like a scavenger hunt, where cute little campers solve clues to find a prize like unicorn stickers or a king-size candy bar. I'm talking about animals that feed on dead organisms. So in the wild, that would be a vulture that feeds on a deer that died from natural causes. In the sea, scavengers include prawns, crabs, turtles, and even sharks. Canadian researchers have put pig carcasses off the coast of British Columbia to see how bodies would decompose, and found by day 10, the bones were eaten clean by scavengers.
Now again, keep in mind, I am not an expert, but I am a local, all right? So I will tell you that the fish in the Illinois River in this area are insane. Okay, like if just riding down on a boat, you'll have a bunch of the carp flying up at you. It's hard to even get past any part of the river without having any damage to your boat whatsoever because of these giant carp that fly because of the barges that come through, all right? I don't know anything about scavengers. I don't know anything about scavengers in the river. I don't. I have no idea. I'm going to assume that there are scavengers in the water, but are they comparable to the ones in the ocean? I don't know.
Now let's say that a dead body, one that died from natural causes, was floating in an area where scavengers don't frequent. Time for a little game called Will It Float? The answer is maybe. If the body died by drowning, the lungs act like a sponge and soak up all the water into the body. In this case, the body sinks. If the body died after living a long and happy life and was requested to be thrown into the sea to forever live amongst the fishies, then it will float, especially if placed face down. The air in the lungs won't be able to escape. And most commonly, it will float upside down. This is how you'd probably see a dead body floating in movies and TV.
So we were told that the body was found on the shoreline, so I'm not sure if they would be able to make that determination from this, since on the shoreline, the body could be both floating and touching the bottom at the same time, right? Let's continue.
The reason behind this is a little embarrassing, but let's spill the secret for science. Lifeless bodies tend to fill up with gas, especially near the, behind. So that part will float higher and cause the body to turn face down. If the body did drown, the first thing that would happen is called the death chill, or algor mortis. When the heart stops, the body immediately cools down to room temperature. This is called rigor mortis, but it's not until a couple days later that the skin cells will die out. Then the decomposition begins. If the body were outside in the open air, oxygen helps break down the remains. In salt water, there's less oxygen, so the body will decompose slower. But if it's in fresh water, it'll actually decompose faster than in open air.
Okay, so rivers are freshwater, so they would decompose faster than in air.
Soon after, the skin will turn green or black, making it look like the creature from the Black Lagoon. You know how when you sit in that bath for too long, your fingers begin to wrinkle? That's due to an evolutionary trait where our skin adapts to being underwater and makes it easier for us to grip objects. Even dead, our body still has that instinct. In fact, the whole body will wrinkle up.
All right, so basically what I got out of this is it is possible for the body to decompose that quickly. I did not learn anything about organs specifically, so hopefully that will be an answer that we will get soon, either from the family's forensic pathologist or from the Lasalle County coroner. I would like to see that information. And I'm sure you do too. I'm not sure if this information was helpful or made you more confused. To me, I think it was helpful and it made me more confused. So I'm not really sure where we stand right now. If we get those answers soon, I will certainly post them here. If anybody has more knowledge than I do, or have done better research than I have, please let me know in the comments below, or you can email me. The email is in the description down below. I'd really appreciate it. I'm trying to keep everybody as informed as possible without straying too far from the facts. Definitely let me know what you're thinking down below, even if you're not an expert, just like me. We can still talk about things, we can still speculate. So I appreciate your guys' opinions, so leave them down below. Just try and make them as respectful as you possibly can. I would appreciate that greatly. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not. And thank you. Have a great day.